Let me tell you, confidence is one of those qualities that's really a combination. And confidence is a combination of two things. Number one, it's a positive self-respect. In other words, you have enough self-respect that you have high expectations. And the second part is you adequately prepare. Henry Ford said, whether you think you can or not, you'll always be right. And that's true. You're going to become confident if you prepare for something. If you prepare for it, you will. The first story is about Little Ben Hooper. Little Ben Hooper was born at a time when if you didn't know who your father was, you were ostracized. When Ben started to school, he would stay inside by himself at recess. He brought his lunch and always ate alone. When he and his mother would go to the general store on Saturday to get groceries, the so-called self-righteous ladies would say in a whisper you could hear about 200 yards away, I wonder if he knows who his father is. I wonder if she knows who his father is. Little Ben seemed to be sentenced to a life of loneliness and despair. Then he heard about a new young preacher in town. Ben and his mom did not go to church, but all the kids were talking about the new preacher, so little Ben decided to give it a shot. The church had a ritual at the end of the service. One of the members would pray and the preacher would go to the back of the church and shake hands with everyone as they left. For the first time in his life, little Ben was hopeful. On this particular Sunday, the preacher seemed to be talking right to Ben. He said it didn't matter where you'd been, all that mattered was where you were going. Before little Ben knew it, they were praying and the preacher was at the back of the church. Ben tried to mingle with the crowd and suddenly a hand was on his shoulder. He turned and he was looking right into the eyes of that young preacher. The young preacher asked the question everyone had wanted to ask publicly for years. Whose boy are you? You could have heard a proverbial pin drop. Then the young preacher smiled and said, "Why, it's obvious whose child you are. The resemblance is remarkable. You are a child of God. Now go and claim the inheritance you so richly deserve." Little Ben Hooper later said that was the day he was elected governor of Tennessee and later re-elected. That was the day he went from being the son of an unknown father to being the son of a king. That day he was given hope in the future, which gave him power in the present. You see, confidence is based simply on hope. Our job as educators is to give young people hope for the future. If you give young people hope for the future, you give them power in the present. If you make a 0 on a test, and I give you a 0, and you say, if I make 100 on the next test, I still fail. I've taken away the power in the present because you don't have any hope for the future. As long as there's hope for the future, there's power in the present. Confidence is based on the fact of there being hope in the future. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to have power in the present if there's hope in the future.